Welcome to Kiwis and Dragons, a D&D adventure from Aotearoa, New Zealand, the home of hobbits. Our intrepid party of adventurers consists of Duncan Daynut, a fighter with a heart of gold and a brain of turnip.
Grandma Daynut used to say, if it were easy, elves would be doing it.
Undra Vermeith, a drow necromancer with a fascination of death and a mystery to solve.
Duncan, you put the twit in outwit.
Tish Dustlight, a gnome bard that sings like an angel and talks like a mugger in a dark alley.
Thinking about the last episode, when Silver Eyes walks down the street, he'll see red, 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 'cause Ren is dead. Yes, he's dead. Yeah, I know, 'cause I saw him kill him, and so did you guys. Red, Ren, dead, dead, dead.
And Skjold Gunvardsson, a war cleric who lets his hammer do most of the talking.
En ska lyssna när en gammal hund skäller. So you need to pay attention when an old dog barks.
Like in case it's like
Is he talking
like
about you?
a bark and then a collapse or
Yeah, like
Wolf.
both.
good. And you, and to be honest, you had me
Indeed.
worried, Tish, because I'm like, who did you kill? What? Who have I?
I was nowhere near it at the time.
No, not.
Wasn't a horse.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Not Ren.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
The other man
Morel.
in the
Ren.
spooky house.
Ren.
Ren,
Yes.
not
Yeah.
Ren.
Yeah.
Which is exactly where we pick up with the four of you in the house of Ren Morel. Investigating a suspicious act of ghostly goings-on, it's come to your attention that there's a secret cabin in the back storage closet of his abode where you found a good amount of contraband, gems, rough, well-cut, freshly mined, a mixture of all. But unfortunately, as you were about to interrogate Ren Morel to his goings-on, his demeanour and tone changed, and taking his own life maybe before you could get the required information from him.
Coward.
Yes, clever coward.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you do?
Or could you cast like cure wounds on him?
No, I didn't prep any of those. I mean, yeah, I can, but I don't know if Ron wants to bring this dude back because he's.
Well, we can always kill him again once we get the answers we need.
Nice.
Well, I'd actually prepare to go all in like ghost hunting mode,
Oh, okay.
so
Well, it's got to be haunted now, isn't it?
yeah, I don't know. We can get rid of it, and I'm sure Undra can have a word with him.
I can animate the dead.
Yeah.
I could just make him my little puppet.
Or
You're good at this.
we can just have a conversation with him.
Sure.
You have
But
like
that's better because I don't want him running around.
Oh no.
talk with the dead or something.
Yeah.
Should that conversation be in front of a grown-up? Or would that be weird?
Have you been children this whole time?
No.
No, like
I mean, like,
Sometimes.
as in the literal sense, as opposed to like.
I'm here, and I'm pretty
mental-
sure Undra is older than all of us.
Speak for yourself. I am but
No,
a
I mean-
spring chicken, as they say.
Like a Silver Eyes or someone
A
who
spring
needs
harpy.
a spring happy. Yeah.
They have a very good time. I think I would like that. So, what are we doing with this
They're gonna be, I don't know,
meat
like.
sack?
Do you have like talk with dead?
No.
No.
Well, it's lucky you got a ghost-busting cleric here, because I actually prepped speak with dead because I thought we were gonna be going up against ghosts and things,
Excellent
and like remove
news.
curse and all of that stuff.
What does that do then?
That lets me. We need. I don't think I've gotten incense with me.
Surely someone's got some in
There's
their
bound to be
bag.
some in this house.
Yeah. How bad's my ouchie? I just want to know if I need a bit of help or if I'm alright.
Well, it's about as bad as what I told you last session.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't change since
I'm
then.
fine.
You're not bleeding out. It's
And I'm
okay.
still invisible because I
Make
can.
make an investigation check.
Well, do you stop being invisible when you get it out, G?
Not necessarily.
Oh, cool.
No.
I'm just going to hide
22.
then.
22. Did you roll as well?
No,
No. You roll as well.
I don't want to.
I don't think
It's
that's
not
how
a
this
strong
works.
point.
Kind of watching as you pat down your pockets and you start muttering to yourself in some strange Nordic kind of language that Undra, you have no idea what he's saying. You kind of you kind of get a grasp of the spell. You've read about it before. You start opening some cupboards and drawers and come across a little kind of tub bunch of it looks like kind of potpourri or something, which it seems to kind of have a little bottle just behind it with kind of lavender oil written on it and possibly passable for incense.
Okie dokie.
Or we could aromatherapy him to life.
I mean,
If only we had some crystals as well.
we've got the gems.
Yes. So
Usually I'd volunteer to give someone a rubbing, but, you know.
isn't that supposed to be drubbing?
No, she meant rubbing.
I definitely meant rubbing.
Rubbing.
So we will get.
And you're still covered in flour, by the way.
Yeah, I was having a wash in the corner when the dude killed himself.
Yeah.
So now you're covered in sticky, kind of almost glue-like
Is
substance.
it that much? Crikey. Uh-oh.
You got a sludge monster.
It's not the first time she's been called that.
That's the name of my sex punch.
So we will get up to 5 questions with them.
Okay.
Do we want to
okay.
work out
What are we asking?
Handing over to a groaner.
But also, he's not. He doesn't need to be truthful.
Oh,
Oh,
well, that's dumb.
What do we
But
really
cool.
want to know?
Yeah, but I'm sure we can do it like several times. And also, if it's an undead, it won't work. So, if you're gonna animate him, we need to have been through with the questioning.
I'm not sure animating him's a good idea, really. I think that might just scare some of the people around here.
Then it really would be
I mean,
haunted.
they were scared of
I'd
like
much
eggs
rather
and
animate
flour.
somebody more fun. Just
So what do we need? We need to ask him who he was in on the plan with, eh?
yes.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Who was he working for? Who was?
And is that Mary involved? That Sheila he hangs out with? Surely.
Well, I don't think she was, because she was the one who like got us to look at the house, and he was like, "Oh no, it's all right," because he knew
Oh,
it was like
yeah.
all pretend. But I
I
reckon
forgot that. So I was-
And they paid the little boys to pretend there was a ghost to keep people away from the house. It's lucky he's dead.
So what else we got to ask him?
Lots of things,
Yeah.
like
Excellent entertainment.
this is the best episode.
I
too.
don't know. Do we just get the creepy rents down here to have a look? Just say, hey, look, this man, he's stealing from you.
Oh, Mr.
It's all a
Annoying.
lie.
Mr. Annoying Cheerful. Yeah.
Would you like us to take his limbs off?
For anyone
What do we-
listening, that clunking sound, it's not a technical fault, it's the mind of the 4 people sat around the table, just working slowly away.
This will be improved in editing.
Well, I hope so.
Well, we've got our one question,
Yeah.
and then I think Skald will come up with the rest because he's quite clever. Like.
He's very
He's
clever, isn't
Let's
he? Yes,
let's
yes.
just leave it
I have
to
complete
Skald.
faith in your
Yeah.
ability to
Oh,
do
Okay.
the talk.
Yeah. Yep. I'll do that for sure.
Okie dokie.
Artichoke.
So you cast Speak with Dead.
Yes.
So you kind of find a candle, you manage to put something over it and burn the incense while saying the words and making the movements. It's all very kind of yardie-dar over here as you watch Shold. You kind of cast the spell for the first time And the kind of the slumped form of Ren sitting in the chair, this massive kind of wound from kind of left to right of his throat.
We bound him up, hey guys.
He just kind of like jolts up and this empty breath just kind of sucks in, and then he kind of just sits back in a more upright position. This kind of this movement of flicker in his eyes, not really looking at anyone in particular. His head turns to you, Shold.
Good morning.
Hello.
I would like to ask you some questions, and then we're gonna let you rest.
It's not really been a very good morning for him, has it? I just point that out.
But that was his own fault.
I mean, it was pretty good for me.
So, question number 1. Who were you in this dastardly plot with?
If you mean who was I in this plot to scare the witless beings of this town from coming in this home? The treacherous child you saw run away. Just him. A fool of a boy.
Just him.
Easy money for really not doing anything that he knows.
That's good. So, who were you in? Who knows that you stole all these gems?
But I didn't steal them. This is a task set for me. A test.
Who set you that task?
Kind of sniggers. You want to know who my boss is?
Yes.
I answer to Kovac.
Who was that?
Corvig.
Oh, we've had that name
He's on
before.
the list.
Where
He's on the
would
list.
we find Koveg?
You don't find him. He finds you. But your chances are better in the southern quarter of Hawksmoor. But you think to seek him out, then you are more foolish than I. You know not what you toil with.
Oh, I'm definitely more foolish than you. Even without seeking him out, that's a given.
Yes, a twit of a dwarf.
Oh yes, that's me. But I'm not the one with the throat slit. They're like bubbling out their throat, aren't they? So, in some ways, I'd say I'm slightly smarter than you, I suppose.
We make our decisions, and we live or die by them.
Oh, that's true, but I don't really like to live by them. I find that works much better for me.
It's much better for my hair.
So what's the final question we got for him then, Shold?
How do we get into the bar in the caves?
We're gonna get.
Is there anything else hidden in this house?
What else were you doing?
Like anyone.
Looks over. Just your intelligence, dwarf, but I don't think you'll ever find that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't understand that.
He kind of slumps back down slowly into the chair.
We really want to
His
kill
head
him
just
again.
kind of collapses forward, and the motion of the movement of the corpse just has positioned it in a way that as the kind of the slight rigidity of the body leaves it after the spell ends, it collapses forward onto the table with a thud.
Well, thank God he's gone.
So we probably ought to go and tell rents about that, shouldn't we? Really?
Cheerful rents.
I just read some small print here, so if we want to ask you more questions, we have to wait about 10 days.
Well,
Ugh.
I don't really have any more questions for him. He weren't that interesting.
It'll be stinking.
No, it's tiresome.
Yeah.
Can we just have a quick look around the rest of the house? There was that like Hessian bit under one of the beds. I didn't know if that was covering something.
Yep. So you should go up there and remove it, and you see a very small, kind of removable, kind of piece of flooring. Which, when you take it out, and it's not hinged, it just lifts out, slides away. You see a drop down into the area underneath where the young boy surprised you from.
Ah.
Oh,
So
sweet.
we went up the stairs, into the thing, down the ladder, into the place, flowered me, bastard. Cool. Am I clean yet? It's very frustrating.
Yeah, clean enough, but there's still specks of like flour goop.
Specs is fine, it's my hero, right?
It's just like floating bits of goop at the minute because you're still invisible, right? Those
Oh
you
yeah, that's right.
you probably got about half an hour of that to go.
Oh cool.
So can we like see if there's some young scallywag outside that we can send to go and get rents?
You have a look out. Just make a perception check.
I've got half an hour. Should I go look for that little fella?
12.
There's one just sitting down. He's kind of tucked around the corner. You can see the legs kind of just sitting down, jolting out.
Go and goop him.
You go and ask, and then they kind of look at you. And like, I can go and find rents
There's a copper piece in it for you if you do.
up front.
Sure, because if you cheat me, I'll come and find you. You don't want that.
I'm as honest as the day is sunny.
Aye, the longer the daylight, the less you do wrong. Now, go and find him.
You kind of flick a copper piece. He grabs it, runs off.
Should we let the guards round up the little kid too?
Well, it weren't really a major part of the plan, was he? He was just like, I think he just thought he was playing a prank. I don't think he really knew about all the diamond stealing and that.
About 10 minutes. You kind of the sound of footfalls on the hard-packed earth kind of get louder and louder, and the door kind of knocks on. Hello. And a guard walks in. There's not one you're familiar with. I've been asked to come down and oh dear. And he looks around and he kind of puts his hand on his sword and says, "May I ask what is going on here?"
Yeah, I think you need to get your boss.
He's on his way.
Good.
May I ask how an employee of the mine company has what is going on here?
Well, basically, he was stealing from the mine, and rather than tell us what was going on, he slit his own throat.
Oh dear. Yes, well, so this is now a crime scene. So if I may, I'll ask you to just vacate the house, wait outside.
No, we're going to
No.
wait till your boss gets here, because there's jewels and stuff, and, you know, we want to make sure it's all done properly.
If you insist. And he kind of waits a second. There's a bit of an awkward silence. As he kind of just like moves and shuffles out of the way of the pooling blood on the floor. And not long. You kind of that cheerful disposition.
Well, yeah, you can go and stand outside and make sure no one else comes in and disturbs the
No,
crime scene.
I'll stay here with you. It's okay, everyone. And Rents walks in. Oh dear. I was under the impression you were coming here to help him solve his ghost problems, not to
Yeah, it's
make them
solved.
worse. Yes.
Told.
Yeah. Well,
Job done.
Job done, indeed. And the job done was what, if I may ask?
Well, if you come and look in this cupboard, he's been stealing from you. And when we asked him about it, rather than tell us who he's doing it, he slit his own throat.
Yeah, it was really yucky.
Interesting. And the two other guards walk in with him, and he just kind of directs them. One of them goes and the bag of gems. Whereabouts did you find these, if I may ask?
Well, I don't think we took them away. They're still being
You
hiding
lead them
place.
in. And,
Yep.
Okay. Handy. We didn't. Yes. Go and bring. And he kind of turns around and asks one of his guards with him to go and fetch someone. You missed the name. the counting house to kind of come down here and secure the items for removal. And he kind of turns around and suddenly there's a guard just at the kind of the cave little area, just looking and going through things as he kind of gestures you over. Well, it seems that I'm in your debt once again. Did you, if I may, you seem like you were the last ones to see Ren, obviously before he passed. And did he give you any further information at all?
Oh no, we that's why he killed himself. We were trying to find out who he was in cohorts with, but rather than tell us, he just slit his own throat. So we're none the wiser, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, that's a shame. Yeah, sometimes these people, they let something slip.
Well, to be fair, I've never been the wiser, so that's just a normal state of affairs for me.
Well,
really.
this is true, but he kind of looks over at you and Shold. Did anything catch your attention? Maybe that Duncan would have perhaps missed as a pass-by comment.
Do I get the impression that this is news to him, or does he
make an insight check?
I will also be watching him very closely because I don't want to give him information if I think he's in on it.
Yep.
Well,
Oh, because he's on the list, eh?
2.
He is quite. He comes across as being a little bit surprised, but straight down to kind of work. The questions that he's asking seem kind of bread and butter for a guardsman, and in this environment, it's nothing untoward.
24.
Yeah. I'd say with that, what I said, pretty much exactly what I said to Undra. But as she turns away, the one thing you do notice is he goes over to as he's talking, he just takes a step over to the body, and you see him just looking down, like the exposed neck and just down the tunic, and he just kind of puts his hands on his head and kind of continues talking to you. It's ever such a slight movement of
Overly friendliness.
No, the way it's almost like something he wasn't expecting to see confirm something he was thinking. So, but he kind of looks over and around at you all and is like, no, well, we will get this dealt and tidied up.
Yeah. He would certainly have had an accomplice to be able to get this amount of gems out of.
Yes, well, you very well be right, but that's something that we will have to figure out ourselves, and I feel like we've troubled you already too much.
Yeah, well, you might need some outsiders that's definitely not into it, because you never know who you can trust.
This is true, but unfortunately,
people.
that is not always the way that we like to run things. We like to keep certain things in-house,
well,
Master Shold, so...
It's not gone so well so far.
If you make us honorary employees, then it's going to be in-house.
You'll absolutely be fine, and I'll remember the gesture. Thank you. But as I said, we tend to keep these things in-house, and yes.
While they're chatting, can I just take Undra to one side and have a little whisper to her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Undra, could you say some words over the body, but while you're doing it, also see if you could check to see if he's got any tattoos.
Ah, yes.
Can you just make a stuff check? You're clearly whispering, but just to see how quietly you are doing this. Not that you are whispering, so it's not like you're shouting, but.
Oh yeah, that's quite good. 7.
But remember, he should really have advantage on this because of his armor, because it's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, it's more so. It's not the words. It's more of the idea of him whispering and his body language and looking and yeah.
But I had to try.
Yeah, you did. But unfortunately, as you turn around to look at the body, both of you see another guard being instructed to kind of put something over and around it, and it's being covered up. And he looks at all of you. Yes, we'll move this to just check and examine. But like I said, and I believe my colleague said, we will now pursue this as an investigation to come up with some more information. So I will
we might have to make sure that his spirit is not going to be haunting this place, because this was quite a violent.
And as you keep asking and probing and pushing, his demeanour goes from being cheerful to a little bit more firmer, and in a polite way. I believe I've already said this, but I do thank you for your assistance here. But I now need to ask you to leave so we can complete this ongoing investigation. I will make sure that it is yourselves that are noted as being the ones to come to this this conclusion, and if there is any reward maybe to pass for the returning of the gemstones that have seemingly been stolen, then I will make sure that comes to you. But at the moment, I do maybe have to ask you to leave this particular area, but I do have something for you. And he holds out 4 large kind of wooden clacks with a branded insignia of the mine. These will be for you to take. And he hands them out. I was on my way to the Cheerful Lantern to leave them on the bar, or the innkeep for you. But these will get you past through the main gate one time only, down to our mine proper. I have got a guard on duty down there called Alex McKinnon. He will be on the guard post. Make yourselves known to him, and he will set you over a guide to show you around the inner workings of the mining town.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Thanks, buddy.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but we do now have some work to get on with. I do thank you both. Thank you all. Sorry, and I will let you know how this goes. I'm sure you'll be interested in the conclusion of what has gone on here.
Oh, yes.
Please ensure the proper words are spoken over that man's body to release his.
Oh, we will. He
spirit.
looks at you and smiles. He goes, "Don't worry. We will do absolutely everything we can to glean as much information from him as we can."
Oh, for the very first time, I quite like him.
Oh, good. I'm not all laughter and cheerfulness. Anyway, and he kind of turns around and leaves you to it, kind of turning his back on you and walking up to talk to someone else. You're gestured out of the door by another kind of 2 guards, and as you make your way out to the sunny day, there's a few more that are joining this area.
Well, that all went very well, I thought.
It's flawless. Yes. Okie dokie. Now what are we doing?
I think we should go and track down the kid and see if he knows anything. He might have seen him.
Pummel him.
Oh, yeah.
Pummel him into the ground.
Yes.
Oh no, he was just a little kid. We could go and have words with him, but I don't think
see
we
if
should.
he's
Oh,
seeing if
alright.
he's had any runnings with any of his friends or something.
Okay.
He may have been paid to do it, but he may also have seen something.
That's the
true.
one.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. I see where you're going there.
No pummeling, just some friendly questioning.
Yeah.
And then we could scrape Tish off and make a nice pie.
Good.
I don't think that's sanitary.
And in the midst of this all, you have now your passes for
Yes.
Millerton Inner, which is the kind of the inner town of the mining kind of corporation.
Right, let's go look for that little kid then.
Make an investigation check. You can all make one if you wish.
No, I'm just following this one. I'm more about sort of going with my gut feelings, and
Yes.
that's why I'm
15.
24.
Oh, you want me to throw my hose at? One moment, please, caller. Sorry, what am I doing? An investigation.
Investigations.
That's an unnatural 20.
Okay. So
Stop it.
you the kind of the chatter and noise of a collection of young children or young kind of teens kind of drifts down, and you can hear it quite clearly. There's kind of a mix of excitement and teasing and of kind of raised female voices, including one that makes you kind of laugh and judder at the same time. But yeah, it's maybe up a level, and you see a kind of a huddle of kids with with one sitting down, kind of telling a story to the others. Some of the children you see and recognise from the previous encounter with them, as well as the two that work at the bar, the two sisters, including the one that you just see this. I don't believe you. No, like he's just telling lies. He's just making it up for attention.
I will sort of have a whole person prepared just in case he tries to run away. Because I don't feel like running down kids.
And one of the children actually looks around and goes, oh, hey, there's those people. And the girl's like, oh, not them. They are so annoying. They're like so rude. Chat. And then you see two of the girls kind of stalk off, daggers coming in your way, especially you, Andrew, just like...
Give it a minute, they'll realise how cool I am.
Mm-hmm. And then, indeed, the children seem to kind of break away and slowly drift apart, and one kind of jumps up, looks at you, and just kind of starts to kind of head down and move off.
Oi, come here, sonny. Don't run away. You'll only die tired.
Make a intimidation check.
It escalated very quickly.
Oh, that wasn't very good, actually. 10.
Kind of looks at you, looks around. I'll give you advantage on that one because the four of you are there and what he's seen and thinking there's a
that's
real
better.
ghost.
That was a 15.
Yeah, he kind of like goes to move away and thinks better of it, and kind of one of the other lads kind of want me to stay. No, it's all right. I'll catch up with you in a minute. He looks over at you. What do you want?
Well, you throw some eggs and flour on our friend. So she's not very happy about that.
She scared the crap out of me.
That's
Sneaking
right.
into people's houses like that.
Alright. But what we're really here for is, like, we don't really care about that, to be honest, because it was quite funny. But we want to know everything you know about haunting the house, what you saw, who he was in on it with.
It was just. He told me it was just a joke. He said no one was going to get hurt, and I wouldn't get into any trouble. So like, I'm not going to get into any trouble.
No, you're not in any trouble.
Certainly not with him. He's dead now.
He looks at you and kind of like takes a step and kind of like moves over towards maybe Duncan and Tish and just kind of like looks at them, kind of eyes.
And it would be a shame if we need to tell the guards that you were in on it with them. That's not going to be.
But that's not necessary.
No, so that's why we're talking to you now, like all nice and friendly.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I know, but I mean it's not much. I mean he said he was just hiding some things, and he just needed the house empty for a while. It was a test he was doing for someone. And just wanted the house empty, and his friends wouldn't leave. So we did the ghost thing, and then he just asked me to kind of make noise, and he showed me how to slip in and just kind of hide out some days. And when people came back, I just kind of started like moving things and taking stuff and hiding it, and like just before long they've got
Did you know how long he wanted you to keep this up for?
Oh, I mean the house was empty. He got what he wanted. He used to have a friend living with him and his wife, and they moved out and they're staying somewhere else, and so it was just him there. So he said it didn't matter. I just went there occasionally and made some funny noises and made sure people were outside to hear.
So he stayed living in the house, but his wife and friend move out.
His friend and he's not married. His friend
right.
and his wife.
Friend and wife.
They're staying somewhere else now because they said they wouldn't stay there anymore.
See.
They're quite strange, quite simple, like easily fooled, a little bit religious, so they believe in all that kind of stuff.
Is that what you mean?
I wouldn't say that. That's a bit mean. No,
Whereabouts are they staying?
I don't know where they went. He works in the mine itself, and I mean,
What's his name?
Adam something.
So, did you ever see anyone else with Ren?
I mean, only the people he works with from time to time, but not at home. He was quite a private person. I mean, literally, this is all I know of him. I didn't do much. Like, I didn't really know him well before this. So
Did he like making a lot of patios?
Pardon?
Nothing. Carry on.
I don't understand.
He's just quite a loner, you know? He likes to do things, probably. Out late at night, doing strange things.
I mean, the only thing I would say is that the times that I spoke to him, when he was with other people, and sometimes you felt that it was like a bit of an act. But I mean, maybe that was just him. I mean, sometimes you can have a bad day at work, I suppose.
Well, he had a bad day at work today.
Quite spectacularly bad.
Yeah.
If I may ask, do you know what he was keeping?
It's probably safer if you don't know.
Okay.
Right. Shall we head off then?
Yes.
Are we going to the Drafty Shaft?
Should we
Is
head
it
it?
time
What
to
was
go?
next on our list?
I think we-
Bane got the money for the dead Happy Head. We sorted out the haunted house.
We did that. We done the haunting.
Yeah, but we need to know when the woman is performing at the shaft.
That's a very convoluted way of putting it, but yes, if you wish.
Well, I couldn't remember her name.
We need to. I'm just putting that in my list.
I think this Dungeons and Dragons has really corrupted you, hasn't it, Krista?
Yeah.
We need to know
That's the title of your sex parchment, that one, isn't it?
when
Come up with a completely innocent name for an inner mountain tavern.
shaft.
You guys just can't let it go, can you?
It's on my list of sex parchments.
Are you going to have to start a library soon, I think?
Yes, I check my stones every morning.
Right, let's
Close your eyes and try again.
let's head to Millerton Inner.
Yes.
There's only one way into the inner mine in the township that you know of, and that's the large kind of entranceway down on the bottom level of Millerton. Kind of taking the various stairways down and the winding paths, you and get to the kind of the northern edge of the town, and by the wall you can see the marked tracks leading into this large kind of cavernous opening. Two guards stand either side, you kind of spear in hand, and a couple of people wander through before they give a smile and a nod. One is asked, has stopped and asked for something, and they quickly show something around their neck on a tag, and are let through. As you kind of wander through and up, the guardsmen kind of take a step inwards. And, sorry, not familiar with you four.
Oh, there's just the three of us. But we've got this tag that will let us in.
Make clackety clack.
May I have a look?
Yeah, you, Alex.
Yeah, we're here to see Alex.
No, I'm not Alex. Who are you looking for, Alex?
Alex McKinnon.
You'll find him at the guard station.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Awesome,
And
let's
he
go.
just takes a second. You kind of go to walk past, and they both step in front of you, and they just take a second to look at all the clacks, and you kind of hold them up, and yep. So and as you go by, they take them off of you, and it's like, oh, this will get you into the mine once, and he kind of puts them in his pocket. When you decide to leave, enjoy your visit. What is your purpose for the visit?
Oh, we're here to see Alex McKinnon.
Alex will give you a tour around, but are you just here to fix something or
We've
meet
been
with someone?
sent by Mr. Silver Eyes.
Yeah, we can't really say too much about it, secret business.
We like to keep it in house.
Okay, well, that's fine. You got your pass, so
Very good.
they said they pocket the four tokens and they let you in. You follow the pathway, which is a good, and as far as the walk goes, it's probably about a quarter of a mile. It's a long kind of well constructed pathway. It's big enough for two wagons to pass side by side, hard-packed earth. You can see some well-worn tracks, that kind of the movement of animals pulling carts to and from, people walking over this pathway many a time. The kind of the hallway itself, or the kind of the pathway itself, is well maintained and well secured stonework, braced with timber, looks strong. Some of it new, some of it a little bit older. Kind of torch lights and lanterns as you kind of get further on, light the path. After maybe that kind of 10 to 15 minutes of walking, you can see the pathway, and it's up ahead of you that there is a building, a small kind of house, open kind of veranda. There's two guardsmen sitting down, one's at a desk, one's just on a chair chatting. And the people that are wandering in front of you and you've kept pace with them, they get kind of nods and smiles. The one that was stopped is already taking something out and showing it to them as they wander past. And they let them aimlessly. But as the four of you wander down, they kind of look at you all, and stand up. One of them stands up. It's your business in town?
Oh, we're here to see Alex.
Right. There 1 minute, please. And he kind of goes up to the doorway of the house and, hey, Al, I think your group is here. Your famil, your look around, I don't know what you call them. And this kind of chap comes up, 6 foot, dark hair, kind of wearing a kind of the same guard uniform that you kind of seen on everyone. I've got this, yeah. And he goes, right, my name's Alex. And he holds his hand out. Pleasure to meet you.
Hello, I'm Duncan.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Duncan.
The pleasure's all mine, Alex.
All
My
right.
name is Ondra Vermees.
Welcome home, Ondra. Young gnome, sir.
Hey.
Welcome to Millerton Inner. I've instructions to show you around the basics of the town and kind of set you up maybe with an overnight stay into the tavern, and so you can enjoy the evening's festivities. And I'll be here for the duration of the next couple of days. So any problems, you can always come and find me here. But yeah, let me just show you.
I'm sure there's not going to be any problems.
Well, yeah, don't worry about that. Never are. Pretty straightforward here.
Yeah.
But welcome to the inner workings of the mine. And he kind of goes to move off and show you, and this great kind of cavernous area really kind of strikes you as you'll kind of have a second to look over. Very much like the outer town, it's built on layers. What looks like 4 main layers at this point, kind of built up into the this cavern within the. It looks like a natural cavern within the mountain. Each layer seems to be kind of cut out of a layer of bedrock, creating a level plateau, almost like giant steps, huge steps going up with houses on each one. You can see a well-beaten track moving up the southern end, where you are now, up the left-hand side, giving access to each level for kind of horse and cart if required. There is almost a yard full of cart and livestock just in front of you behind the guardhouse, with a small number of larger buildings on this very bottom level that you're in at now. The most interesting buildings that strike you, the 3 largest, you can hear the multiple kind of clangings of what sounds like numerous blacksmiths at work, kind of echoing around this cavern. A large building stands on the 3rd level, kind of taking up quite a large piece of the kind of the landscape. And it's intermingled with the clanging of what sounds like hammers on metal, the raucous laughter and of large kind of gathering of people kind of spill out into this kind of echoing kind of noise in this cavern. The most striking building is a pointed temple up on the very highest level. It's got a pointed spire which is on its own. It's the only one of its kind that you've seen in this town. It outer and inner. Even the temple in Millerton itself was more of a standard building. But the most interesting thing is the what looks like the giant cogs turning attached to wires and platforms that may be 200 yards away from you. You can see a number of gnomes kind of walking around this particular area as they kind of, you see them watch and work as Alex is muttering something which none of you are paying attention to, as this platform is locked in place and a number of trucks are wheeled off of it as the door is opened, coming from somewhere below. You watch as the gnomes take the trucks and hand them over to some other people who kind of move them off, and one of them coming toward the area where the horses and the carts are kept. And there is a truck half laden with kind of ore of some description and stones taken out of the inner workings of the mine. As you're kind of looking, the lights, an abundance of what look like oil lanterns, but there is a bluish glow to some of the houses, suggesting some form of arcane kind of lighting coming from in here. As Alex kind of brings you all to attention. Are you all coming? Or are you just going to stand there and go? It's like you've never seen a mine before.
Oh, no, we've seen plenty of mines, just not as big as this one, probably.
Well, no, this biggest mine in the continent, I'd be pretty sure to say. So definitely the most advanced in its technology.
You seem very proud.
Well, it's a good place to work. But yeah, well, come on. Anywhere you particularly want to talk about or see?
The Drafty Shaft, I think, sounds quite promising.
Sounds like a lovely place to start.
I'll take you up to Whistler. Come on.
And also, we've heard that in one of the, do you say, lower shafts, like in the mine, that you found something interesting.
I mean, there's all sorts of things, and he's having a conversation whilst walking now, and he leads you up to the second level, and then turns and walks in toward the second level. Which, as you're kind of moving along this plateau, you can see this huge, clearly huge kind of blacksmith with a couple of people working in the yard, but you can see smoke and heat just kind of coming out of a giant chimney, and then a very densely kind of populated kind of area beyond this, kind of which seems to just fall into the mounting side and just beyond, or into the rock face and beyond. He turns around and goes, well, I don't really know much of what's going on in the mines, unfortunately. That's normally kept with the dwarves and the senior team. Some very exciting discoveries have been made in the prime and the deep mines. So yeah, I'm sure that's probably what you've heard.
Yeah, like the whole town is buzzing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially in the prime mines, there's a new excavation that has unearthed another cavern of great size, and Torkos, there's the amount of ore and kind of veins that are down there of precious stone metals is going to really be a massive boon to the company. So very exciting.
They said it was hard to get to those prime mines and that big cave in particular.
Yeah, well, I mean, all are accessible from the lifts and winches, and as you drop down the 3 levels of mine entrances, and that's where you get to them. Some are more more travelled and more well mined out than others, but yeah.
I hear it's very good if it's really veiny.
Yes, yeah. Silver, I think, is what they found in it. So, but yeah, and as you kind of turn up these large kind of like promenade steps, almost leading up to the 3rd level.
So is this 3rd level? Is this closest to the prime place?
he kind of looks at you and goes, well, no, the mines are all, you have to go down the lifts to get to the mines.
Okay, so is it more than one?
As you go up the stairs, he kind of turns around and kind of shows you all. And now you can see, as you kind of got a bit of elevation, you can see the lift that came up drops down maybe by 40 feet to a layer below, a plateau below. He goes, you can't see it, but the entrance to the Alpha mine is just on that first plateau. And then just out of view, you can't quite see them. And he goes, oh, come with me. And he kind of takes you down past the side of the blacksmith, which is quite a big building. It's 3 times the size of the one out in Millerton itself. And on the swinging board is this kind of scorched crest of the Stonewatt Mining Company, suggesting that this is a mine specifically owned and run for the company as opposed to maybe by an individual that works there. As he comes to the end of the drop, and there's maybe a 10-20 foot drop down to level 1, you can just now see, as he points it out, a second lift mechanism about on that first plateau. And he goes, you got the first lift down that takes you to layer 1, which is where Alpha is, and then you've got the second lift that drops you down about another 40 feet. So there you've got miner and ore. These are just what we call the main mine, the initial mine kind of entrances.
Yes, interesting, yes.
And then there's a final lift, it's quite a new one, which drops you down about another 40 feet. So at this point, good maths, you're kind of down 120 to 140 feet, and that's where the prime and the deep mines are. So the deep mine is quite a steep slope down, but yeah, take care not to create too much of a warren underneath us to destabilise the whole place. There's a number of the engineers that are basically tasked with that to make sure that the stability of the entire mountain is left stable.
When we look down there, can we see any guards about particularly?
At the first lift mechanism, there's the gnomes that are there, and there is a guard there. You can't really see. You can kind of see the large mechanisms. You can see the tops of the wheels. You can't see anything specific. There's clearly a lot of dead eyesight, kind of dead areas where you can't see anything. And that last layer down, you've just got you've just got nothing. But
and can we go for a tour in there?
Unfortunately, no. Tend not to be allowed down in the mines. So there's a working area and a lot of. You get yourself into trouble if you get caught down there.
Lots of accidents, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have our few. Unfortunately, we do have our few, but everyone's kind of paid well that goes and works down there. But we can't just have people like yourselves just wandering around aimlessly, can we?
No, we will probably get lost.
Exactly.
I mean, I won't get lost. I'm very comfortable down here, as is Tish, and we can definitely guide you.
But anyway, you wanted to go to Whistler, and he kind of walks up behind you and leads you back up the stairs and to this large.
Oh, Alex, there you are.
Large. This large cavern. It's kind of almost like a swinging door, a swinging half a door that's probably a foot off the ground and 2 foot from the ceiling. 2 of them that just swing freely. And every time someone walks in and out as you're walking up to the doorway, the noise volume just increases, and then and you can see a mixture of kind of orange and bluish light coming from inside this large tavern and bar. It's probably a good, at least double the size of the Cheerful Lantern. As he leads you up to the door, he goes, well, can I do I have to come in with you? You're going to go in and get a drink?
Oh no, we're quite familiar with how pubs work.
Yeah.
Oh, no, good. All right, good. Well, the Agnums are playing in about an hour, so they're kind of the band down here. They're good kind of percussion, and there's a great talent. She plays the fiddle, Asta. She's really worth a listen to. But if you need anything else, I'll be on duty. We kind of stay down there, so come and find me.
All right.
And if you can't find me, then one of the others will come and grab me. They'll know where I am. Okay?
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you, Alex, for your
Thanks,
help.
Alex.
Bye, Alex.
Letters.
And he turns around and walks off. As he turns around and walks away, your eyes just kind of look up and they see a whole element to the area that you didn't notice on your walk up here. Your backs were to them. On the upper level, it kind of winds around, almost kind of lifting up and looking over the path you came up initially. That kind of that incline path for trucks and horses. A number of larger buildings just look over this, and then above this there is this strange-looking platform, and it must be, I mean, at a guess, 100 feet up. Kind of some maths and calculations, maybe for you, Undra, I'd say. And what's your intelligence? What's your base intelligence stats, guys? Duncan, don't have to answer this. That's
Well,
all right.
mine's 6, if
Yeah.
that helps.
Yeah.
Is that the little number in the roundy bit on
No,
the
the big
intelligence? Yeah,
14.
14.
What's yours?
11.
11. Never mind. Undra, as you kind of look up, you're looking at the gradient as how you've come down for that quarter-mile walk. The distance that you've travelled, you're looking up and you're like, at a guess, you'd say it's probably on the level with the township outside. But it's this kind of cantilevered looking platform that maybe juts out from the rock face by about 10 feet. And you'd hazard a guess that from that vantage point, you had pretty much a bird's eye view of the whole cabin. Be a great place to watch things. But you notice that, turn around, follow your ears and follow the noise, and as you make your way into past the swing doors into the Drafty Shaft, which is, you've heard some call shaft is, and putting a couple of kind of two and twos together, some people obviously call it Whistler. For some reason unknown, you walk into the tavern and just the smell and the noise is the first thing to hit you, followed by this quite striking interior. Tables and benches, very simple in their design, homely, lacking any real kind of opulent comfort, but it just seems welcoming. There's a cheerful kind of chat about the place, not kind of disgustingly cheerful, but just like a good old-fashioned tavern. There's a mezzanine up on the top leading to doors, and there's a long bar with two humans kind of chatting at one end, a male and a female, and kind of workers running around. But the dominating feature is about a 7-foot hole in the floor with a metal grate over the top of it. And as you walk in, making your way in, you get this kind of strange whistling kind of noise of air, very faint, as this kind of breeze just wafts through, cooling the room and taking the noise out of the building.
Aircon.
The shaft definitely is drafty.
Yeah.
And with that, we will hold it there.
Oh, right beside the big
welcome
shaft.
to the Drafty Shaft. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, we will see you next time. Don't forget to follow us on Keepers and Dragons on Instagram and Facebook, and check out the website,
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watch us all be dicks,
On the
Yeah.
street.
as opposed to sound like them.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining in, and hope you're enjoying it all. And yeah.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. See you
Thank
next
you.
time. Bye.